if the very fabric of your city was being quietly reshaped
Hmm.
by a hidden force operating just out of sight, with motivations that might, well, surprise and deeply unsettle you?
Hmm.
Today, we're pulling back the curtain on a truly unexpected claim. It's all based on the audio excerpt you shared with us, titled Proof of Gang Stalking and Citizens on Patrol Program.
Yeah.
This deep dive, it's going to explore a conversation detailing a purported covert operation right there in San Jose, described by a man claiming firsthand knowledge.
Right. And our mission really is to unpack the specifics of this alleged Citizens on Patrol program.
Okay.
We'll look at its stated purpose versus, its reported activities,
Yeah,
and consider the profound implications for those involved and for the wider community.
all based solely on this one conversation, this source?
Exactly. Solely on the details in that audio source you brought us. And maybe we should clarify gang stalking as the person in this audio uses the term.
Right.
It refers to this idea of coordinated harassment, groups targeting one person. And this alleged program is supposedly behind it. Let's get into it.
Okay, let's unpack this. So, the individual speaking in your source, he describes this program as basically highway patrol, except it's street.
Huh. Street patrol.
Yeah, but here's the kicker. They allegedly operate without official vehicles, and participants don't even need a license.
No license.
Nope. As long as you don't have any felonies, apparently you can work for them. It paints a picture of something incredibly informal, yet potentially widespread.
That is informal. And what's fascinating here is the alleged recruitment process he describes.
How does that work?
He claims individuals have to be in the program for 6 months before they're asked to join this specific gang stalking role.
6 months. Why?
Well, the reason given, supposedly, is pretty specific.
Yeah.
To make sure participants are in their right mind
Mhm.
and not, drinking or doing drugs on the job.
Okay, so trying to ensure sobriety, some
Mhm.
kind of vetting.
It's meant to convey a sense of vetting, isn't it? A bit of control.
Yeah, but that's where it gets really interesting because the source immediately presents a direct contradiction. The speaker asserts that most of these alleged gang stalkers are actually on drugs.
Most of them. But they just said,
Exactly. They supposedly keep it low-key from their bosses because, and the source states this explicitly, they don't drug test you.
no drug tests.
So you have this stated policy about sobriety, but then a completely different reported reality on the ground.
Wow, okay. That's a glaring discrepancy then, isn't it?
It is. It suggests, a public facade versus maybe a hidden, less scrupulous internal practice.
Yeah, if the goal is making sure people are in their right mind, but there's no testing, and drug use is common, well, it raises serious questions about the program's integrity right from the start.
Definitely.
And if you connect this to the bigger picture, the geographical claims are also quite striking.
Where does he say this is happening?
The individual speaking is positively sure it's active in the city of San Jose,
San Jose, okay.
and he believes it might become the whole city of Santa Clara soon.
The whole city.
That's the fear. The conversation even goes as far as imagining if it covered the whole county. You wouldn't even be able to go to Gilward without being harassed, he says.
Okay, so given this alleged structure, the lack of real oversight, the drug use, the obvious question is why? Why would anyone participate in something like this?
That's the million-dollar question, right?
Yeah. And the source actually offers some tangible answers. Specific compensation.
Like what? Money.
Initially, gift cards. For like the first month, participants reportedly get gift cards. Specifically, $100 gift cards.
$100 from where?
Target, Ross, Safeway. The idea, according to the speaker, is that way you can get clothes and eat. Basic needs.
Okay, so immediate practical help. But what about longer term? $100 doesn't last forever.
True. And beyond the gift cards, the speaker mentions long-term benefits, specifically housing.
Housing. That's significant.
Yeah, participants receive housing. He clarifies it as Section 8, which, is the federal assistance program.
Right, low-income housing vouchers.
Or something called Housing 10,000, which is less clear, maybe a local thing. But definitely, housing is presented as a major incentive.
That would be a huge draw for certain populations, absolutely.
And who's allegedly footing the bill for all this? Gift cards? Housing?
Good question. Where's the money coming from?
The conversation suggests a kind of trickle-down finance aspect. It claims that rich people in the neighborhood watches are the main ones that really give extra money to the tax holders so that those kind of people can be employed.
Neighborhood Watch is funding this through tax holders. That sounds complicated. unofficial.
Very. And the speaker says it's like you're being employed by the mayor, hypothetically, which points towards, yeah, a complex, maybe deniable funding structure.
And this links back to who's actually being recruited.
Yeah.
Who's the primary demographic here?
Well, according to the source material, the participants are mainly all the homeless people.
Ah, okay. So that connects the dots.
Yeah, it suggests a specific vulnerable group is being targeted, possibly because that compensation, especially the housing, would be incredibly appealing.
Makes sense. Exploit vulnerability with the promise of stability.
So we have a picture of who's supposedly involved and why. Let's turn to what this program claims to do versus what it allegedly does on the streets.
Right, the purpose.
The speaker in our source explicitly states the program's official purpose is just to keep the peace.
Keep the peace. Sounds standard enough for a patrol group, even an unofficial one.
But, and this is a big but, the source immediately contrasts this.
Also,
The person speaking directly challenges it, says participants are going around siffing with people making you think that they're crazy.
wow, okay, that's not keeping the peace.
Not at all. And he asks directly, how is that keeping the peace? It highlights this, stark, almost ironic contradiction between the stated goal and the reported actions.
Does the source give any reason why they do that? Why harass people if the goal is peace?
Not directly, no. But what's also interesting is the speaker clarifies, he says this gang stalkers isn't a race thing.
Not race-based.
No, he says it's stuffing with everybody, which suggests, a broad target base, not focused on one demographic, just general harassment.
And what about the actual police? Where do they fit in, according to this source?
The individual claims the police are in the background.
In the background, what does that mean?
And under investigation, that's the phrase used. Because of this, it's suggested that sheriffs are now doing front screens.
Front screens. So the sheriffs are taking the lead role publicly.
That seems to be the implication. Maybe to shield the police while they're supposedly under investigation, a shift in public-facing roles.
Interesting. Okay, so a complex relationship there, too.
Yeah, and here's where the claims become really grim. Honestly, quite disturbing.
Okay.
The speaker states flat out that a lot of people dying out here behind that X, killing themselves.
Whoa, okay. That's an incredibly serious accusation. Suicide's linked to this program.
Directly linked, according to him.
And the level of detail provided, you mentioned specific buildings, that adds a chilling layer.
It really does. He details 3 specific instances of suicides he attributes to this program in San Jose.
3.
Yes. One person jumping from the Knight Rider building, another from a high-rise building, and a third from a parking garage.
And does he explain how he connects these deaths to the program's activities? What's the mechanism?
He doesn't really get into the how of attribution, no. But he does reveal something about an alleged contract participants sign.
The contract.
Yeah. And this contract, according to the speaker, states they're not liable for any damages or anything that might happen like those suicides.
Not liable. So they anticipated this outcome, or at least wanted to cover themselves.
It certainly implies an attempt to avoid accountability for these alleged consequences.
And the fine print.
Yeah.
You mentioned something about fine print.
Right. As described in the audio, it sounds particularly insidious. Participants apparently thought the contract was just about, physical damages.
Like accidents on the job.
Exactly. Like getting hit by a car or something, or having a heart attack. Normal workplace hazards, maybe.
Okay.
But the reason for this misunderstanding, the speaker claims, is because the contract wasn't never specific. It was just all under fine print. You don't read fine print.
Wow. So deliberately vague and hidden to obscure the potential psychological toll, the suicides.
That's the suggestion.
Yeah.
Shielding those behind the program from responsibility for these claimed deaths by hiding it in unclear language.
That's deeply cynical if true.
So if these claims are to be believed, who is allegedly behind all of this? Who's orchestrating it?
Yeah, who's at the top?
Well, the man in our source, he claims he attended a seminar about this program.
A seminar where?
At City Hall.
City Hall. Wow, okay.
That's significant.
Directly linking it to official city structures.
It is, and that really underscores the broader and pretty huge claim that all the politicians are behind it.
All the politicians.
And that participants are being employed by the mayor, hypothetically. That phrase again.
So this implies a really high level of alleged orchestration, suggesting what seems like a street-level thing actually has powerful roots.
Exactly. Which leads to the question, what does this mean for the community? And the source actually offers a call to action.
What do they suggest?
A petition. to stop this bee. That's the direct quote.
Petition.
Yeah, the speaker believes that if every homeless person, even every, non-homeless person that was tired of this sign a petition, this whole city patrol thing wouldn't even be in existence, a call for collective action.
Interesting. And there was a warning too, right, at the end?
Yes. As a final kind of dramatic warning, the speaker, who's identified as Anthony Coleman,
Okay.
he addresses the alleged gang stalkers directly, tells them to stop the bee and quit while you can because your life is in danger.
Wow. A direct threat almost adds a very personal, urgent layer to the whole thing.
It really does. So we've taken quite a deep dive here into the claims presented in this audio material you brought us, exploring this alleged covert Citizens on Patrol program in San Jose. From its supposed recruitment of homeless individuals, the compensation with gift cards and housing.
The really shocking claims of harassment, orchestrated suicides, and alleged high-level political involvement.
It paints a picture of a deeply unsettling operation, supposedly hidden in plain sight.
And it's crucial to remember, as we've said, all of this information comes directly from the detailed account of that one speaker within the provided audio.
Yes.
We've simply presented what was shared in that source, allowing you, the listener, to hear the claims as they were articulated. We're just guiding you through this pretty intense material.
Absolutely. And it leaves you with a thought, doesn't it? If such a program, as described just in this one source, could potentially exist under the guise of public service, well, what other layers of our daily reality might be operating beneath the surface, unnoticed, unexamined?
Mm.
Something to think about.